3 generations are together again. 3 generations in each other's loving arms, reconnecting, loving each other. 3 generations are together again. Oh, 3 generations are together again. Whitney, Bobby, Christina, and now Cissy Houston. And they're all together again. They're heading in for a reunion with laughter, loving, and so many memories. 3 generations are together. Hey everyone, happy Monday once again. Welcome to another episode of DDTS, episode 313. I'm back with another video today on YouTube. I hope y'all are continuing and having a wonderful Monday. I am once again, I'm doing another video. My video is uploading as we now speak of the video I did, episode DDTS, episode 312, that is uploading on YouTube that I did earlier. When it finishes uploading, if y'all would like to check it out, please go and check it out. This video that I'm doing today it's a heartbreaking video. Well, not really heartbreaking. It's kind of like, it's something to talk about and basically something to importantly discuss. This video today is going to be about the passing of a legendary person, a person that that is a legend, that has won numerous awards. She was a gospel singer. She was the mother of one of the greatest superstars that it was, and that is Whitney Houston. Cissy Houston, she died today at the age of 91 from Alzheimer's disease. She was in hospice care along with her family around her side, family all around her. She was in hospice care, and she died of Alzheimer's disease at the age of 91 today on October the 7th, 2024. And basically, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to, elaborate on her life a little bit. I'm going to talk about Whitney Houston because you can't talk about Cissy Houston without her daughter Whitney. And I'm going to talk about, the love, the history, the moments, the basically everything that Cicely Houston has done and about her life and how she grew up and stuff. I will basically do the best that I know how to do. So bear with me, y'all. But first, if you like this type of content, hit that like button, subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you will get notified when I have a new video uploaded and one that just came out. So let's get started on this. Cissy Houston. Cissy Houston, her name was Emily Drickard, was born September the 30th, 1933, and she passed away on October the 7th, 2024. She was an American soul and gospel singer. Houston was a founding member of the R&B group The Sweet Inspirations, and she also sung backup for artists such as Roy Hamilton, Dionne Warwick, Elvis Presley, Aretha Franklin, and Chaka Khan. Houston embarked on a solo career in 1970 and won 2 Grammy Awards in the traditional gospel album category. Houston was the mother of singer and actress Whitney Houston, the aunt of singers Dionne Warwick and Dee Dee Warwick, and a cousin of opera singer LaToya Price. Houston was the grandmother of Whitney's only child, Bobby Christina Brown. Born on September the 30th to Nicholas Nitch Drickard, who was born in 1895 to 1952, and Della Mae Drickard, who was born in 1901 and died in 1941, was the 8th and final child. Older siblings were brother William, 1918 to 2003, Handsome, 1925 to 1986, Nikki, 1929 to 1992, and Larry, 1931 to 2012, and sisters Lee, 1920 to 2005, Marie, 1922 to 2007, and Annie, 1927 to 2003. Houston's father, Nicholas Drickard, was born Susan Bell, called Della, of Dutch and African American descent. His father, John Drickard Jr., was Native American descent and also owned a substantial amount of farmland in Blakeland, Georgia, at the time when it was usually for black peoples to have large land holdings. The assets, they gradually, as they should sold amount of portions of the land over to resolve the continual legal troubles of a close relative. So yeah, and she also attended Southside High School. And it says here, in 1955, Houston married Freddie Gerlin and had a son, Gary Gerlin, born in 1957, an NBA basketball player and DePaul University athletic of former. In early 1957, when she was 24 years old, Houston met John Russell Houston Jr., and embarked on a romance that led to the birth of son Michael, born 1961, and songwriter and road manager, and daughter Whitney Houston, 1963 to 2012, who went on to be the world's renowned singer, actress, and entertainer during the early years of the relationship. John was still married to his first wife, Elsley Hamilton, after Houston's first marriage ended in divorce in 1964. Cicely John married the following month. John Houston Jr. was formerly an Army veteran who served his country during the World War II and was working as a taxi and truck driver when he met Cissy. And he first entered the entertainment business, managing his nieces-in-law's vocal group and gospel airs. In 1959, after his wife formed the Sweet Inspirations, he served as their manager until Cissy Houston left the group in 1969 to start her solo career. After John served a near-fatal heart attack in 1976, John and Cissy's marriage turned violent. And by 1977, they agreed to legally separate. They remained married until 1991. Houston has 6 grandchildren and 9 great-grandchildren. In the late 90s, when her daughter Whitney Houston began to struggle with drug addiction, Cissy staged several interventions to get her into rehabilitation programs. On one occasion, she obtained a court order and the assistance of the sheriffs to intervene, proceeding Whitney to undertake treatment at Hope for Women, Restoral and Therapist Services in Atlanta, Georgia. And So then on February the 11th, 2012, Whitney Houston died at the Beverly Hamilton Hotel in Beverly Hills, California. After her daughter's death, Cicely expressed her distance from the media coverage of related events. The media are awful. People have come from here and there, and they don't know what they're talking about, she said. People I haven't seen in 20 years, here they come. They think they know everything, but that's not true. But God has his way of taking care of a lot, and I'm glad I know that. Cicely Houston died at her home in Newark on October the 7th. At the age of 91, she had been in hospice care for Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so it is a lot to, take in, So what I'm going to say is this: when you kind of think about it, Cicely Houston, she basically grew up to become a artist, a singer, and part of a famous group as well. And and I believe, her talent and what she did, it dropped off on Whitney. And I might not know much about Cicely Houston, but, I've paid attention. I looked up a bunch of stuff about her. And all I have to say is this: Cissy Houston, Bobby Christina, and Whitney Houston, they are together once again. They are together with each other. Whitney Houston, I'm going to tell y'all something. This is for me, DeAndre Dobbs. Whitney Houston was and still is and will always be one of my favorite artists in the world. Whitney Houston will always be one of my favorite artists in the world. I don't care what anybody says. Whitney Houston is one of the best. And I know a lot of people be comparing Mariah Carey to Whitney Houston. Stop it. Let's just stop comparing the two. Let's just stop comparing the two. Because they're both black women. They both can sing. They both got good vocals. They both are legends. They both made a powerful song together. Mariah Carey is good. Whitney Houston is good. They're both legends. They are extraordinary, amazing, and they are legends for a reason. They are 90s. They are 90s legends, 2000s legends for a reason. And I understand why people say you can't talk about Whitney without Mariah. Listen. A lot of people have been trying to put Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston against each other for a very long time. That's my opinion, and that's how I see it. I don't understand why people will try to put two black women that are legends, that are extraordinary, wonderful, talented singers that can hold their own, they can hold a note by themselves separately, against each other. I love the dynamic that Whitney and Mariah gave. I know this video is about Cissy Houston, but let me tell you something. I feel like if it wasn't for Cissy Houston, mommy and daddy doing what they had to do to conceive Cissy Houston wouldn't be here. And if Cissy Houston wouldn't have married John Russell Houston, which is Whitney Houston daddy and Michael's daddy, there wouldn't be no Whitney Houston. I know Michael is a Houston as well, but this is not about Michael. This is about Cissy Houston. And I'm not going to talk about Cissy Houston without talking about Whitney Houston, because Whitney Houston, in my opinion, her and Cissy Houston, well, mostly Whitney Houston, she is the main one that matters, and Cissy Houston does as well. And I may say some things in this video that y'all might not probably need to hear or want me to say, but I'm going to say it whether y'all want me to or not. It's not going to be no disrespectful video. I'm just going to basically state my facts and my opinion and how I feel. But how I feel is, if Cissy Houston, mama and daddy, didn't conceive her, and if John Russell Houston Jr. wouldn't have met Cissy Houston, Michael Houston wouldn't be here, Whitney Houston wouldn't be here. So when you think about it, you got to give it to the good Lord. You got to give it to the good Lord. You got to give it to God. You got to give it to Jesus. You got to give it to Cissy Houston, and you got to give it to John Houston for making sure that Whitney Houston came into this world, if I'm making sense. And I'm gonna give some credit to Cissy Houston, because Whitney Houston said in the interview that her mama tricked her one time. And they went to the show or something like that. They went to the show. Whitney Houston said in the interview, her mama called her and said, "Oh my goodness, I got a sore throat. I can't sing. My throat went out. My voice went out." Whitney Houston said her mama said that her voice went out, but really her voice did not go out. Whitney Houston mama voice did not go out. She was basically trying to trick Whitney, trying to get Whitney up there to sing, trying to get Whitney up there to, hey, You can do this. You can do this. You got this. You got this. So that's exactly what she did. Whitney Houston got up there and she started singing. She started singing and singing and singing. And Whitney Houston at this time, I believe she said she was about 16 or 17 at that time. I'm not really sure. But I will say this. I'm going to say this. Cissy Houston, Whitney Houston, and her daddy. Whitney Houston, Cissy, and her mama Cissy Houston, and her daddy John Russell Houston Jr. They might have had their problems, but at the end of the day, if it wasn't for them two pushing Whitney, especially Cissy Houston pushed her daughter to become the success that she was. She pushed her daughter to become the success that she was, and that's my opinion. And although they might have had problems, and although they might have had this and that, the third, over money, and even though that Whitney Houston daddy sued her own daddy sued Whitney Houston. Yes, that's true. Her own daddy sued Whitney Houston. Yes, I told y'all, I'm putting tea in here. I'm putting tea in here that I know that shouldn't be in here. I don't know is it tea, but I know I shouldn't be putting stuff up in here that might not belong in here. But hey, I'm going to do it regardless. Anyway. But let's see here. Yes. Hold on one second, y'all. And it says here, the year before John's death in 2003, his company filed a lawsuit against Whitney Houston after claiming that she didn't pay them for their help in a record deal negotiation. And it is said, according to MTV News, Whitney hired her father's company to represent her in a number of professional and personal matters. Even though I know this isn't important, but yeah. Whitney Houston had her problems with her mama. She had her problems with her daddy. And he might have sued her. But at the end of the day, that does not take away the fact that Cissy Houston and John Russell Houston Jr. created a star, a superstar. And I'm going to say this as well. Whitney Houston, Cissy Houston, they might have had they falling out, but one thing Cissy Houston did, one thing she did, she helped her daughter. She helped her daughter become strong. She taught her daughter the meaning of what a singer is all about. She taught her daughter what real and hard work is all about, what dedication is all about. She pushed her daughter to be the best that she knew how. So basically, because it basically tells you, Cissy Houston, she had to go out here and do this stuff. She won numerous awards. She won awards. And Whitney Houston, what did Whitney Houston do? She won awards and played in movies and became one of the best. And I'm basically going to tell you this. Like I said, it was said in the late 1990s when her daughter Whitney Houston was struggling with drug addiction, Cicely staged several interventions to get her into rehabilitation programs. On one occasion, she obtained a court order and the assistance of 2 sheriffs to intervene, pursuing Whitney to undertake treatment at Hope Ford for Women. So let me tell you this. When she became addicted to substances, Whitney Houston, her mama tried to do everything she could to help her. So basically, it's something to think about, Some people may say Cicely didn't do right by Whitney, or they didn't do right by Whitney, or they might have failed Whitney, this and that, the third. But the thing is, I was not there, so I don't know. But I did hear things back and forth about the money that Whitney Houston left Bobby Christina and all this and that. But that's not important. About the money that Whitney Houston was supposedly left her daughter, Cissy Houston, got it. Then she wrote a book, this and the third, but that's not important. What's important in this video is that Cissy Houston, Bobby Christina, and Whitney Houston is together once again. And I'm going to say this. She was in hospice care from Alzheimer's disease. And I'm going to talk about this. That's a disease that can't nobody control. I looked it up about Alzheimer's disease. It's like when you get older, it's like you can't remember a lot of things, and you have your good days, you have your bad days, and they go all the way back in the days and remember stuff. If I'm correct, I'm trying to say it in a way, but sometimes when you get older and you have something like Alzheimer's disease, dementia, I don't know, is it the same? But dementia, Alzheimer's disease, you know what I'm saying? And if you are around the older person and then they are dealing with that, I was always told and I learned that you have to be patient with these peoples that's dealing with this, situation and disease. Because you got to be patient with them. You can't get frustrated with them. You can't get frustrated with them because you can't get frustrated with them. You can't get mad at them, even though even though they can ruffle your feathers a little bit. You can't get mad. I know a lot of people may get frustrated, but at the end of the day, if you ain't got patience for that, if you don't have the mind, the heart for that, because, you have to. You got to be patient. You got to just take a deep breath. You got to be patient. You got to, be patient with them because they are older. They can't remember what they used to remember. They can't do what they used to do because I learned at the end of the day, we're going to all get old. We're going to all get old. Half of us, when we get old, we probably have to deal with the same thing. We might have to deal with Alzheimer's disease. We might have to deal with dementia. We might have to deal with Parkinson's disease. We might have to deal with high blood pressure, diabetes, and all this and that, the third, health reasons. We don't know. You can be young and deal with it, but we don't know. But at the end of the day, we all gonna get old. We all gonna deal with similar and some different things. But I will say this, Cissy Houston lived a remarkable life. She lived a remarkable life. In my opinion, I don't know, if she did wrong, everybody does wrong. But if she did wrong, I don't know if she did or not, but she lived a remarkable life. That does not take away the fact that she was an award winner. She won numerous awards. She was a great singer. She taught her daughter everything that it was to know. She pushed Whitney Houston to be one of the greatest. That's why everybody loves Whitney Houston. I love Whitney Houston. I miss Whitney Houston. I wish Whitney Houston was still here today, because I feel like if Whitney Houston was still here today, it would be so different. It would be so different. I loved Whitney Houston. And I take my hat off to Cissy Houston for pushing Whitney so hard. I take my hat off to Cissy Houston for letting Whitney get up on that stage at the age of 17. Was it 17? I'm not for sure. I think it was 17. Her mama tricked her. Whitney Houston said in the interview her mama tricked her and said she couldn't sing. And that's exactly what happened. If I can, y'all, I'm going to try to put that video up in the beginning or the end. But if I can't, I'll let you know. But if I don't, I'm sorry. But I can say Cissy Houston is with her daughter and her granddaughter, and she was surrounded by her family in hospice care from Alzheimer's disease. She was 91. And she's also upstairs, and she's also up there with her husband. So that's all I have on the passing of Miss Cissy Houston. That will be my video, y'all. How did I do on my video? Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will be back with another video as soon as possible. Thank y'all for watching. And I really want to say thank y'all for watching. And I will say Cissy Houston will be greatly missed. Whitney Houston is still greatly missed. Bobby Christina is greatly missed. And I'm really hoping that they're somewhere together, just laughing and joining hands and everything. I really want to say thank y'all for watching this video. And that will be it for DDTS episode 313. Have a wonderful Monday. I love y'all. Till the next video. See y'all soon. Love y'all. Bye-bye. Three generations are together again. Three generations in each other's loving arms, reconnecting, loving each other. Three generations are together again. Oh, three generations are together again. Whitney, Bobby, Christina, and now Cissy Houston. And they're all together again. They're heading in for a reunion with laughter, loving, and so many memories. Three generations are together again. This was me, DeAndre Dobbs. This is a song I made up. I wanted to sing this in the honor of Whitney Houston, Cissy Houston, Bobby Christina. I might have sounded a little rough, y'all, but this was for them. Let me know what y'all think. Enjoy the video, y'all. Thank you.